And as with his intuition, so with the rhythms of the world, as the rumblings of war began to reverberate across the Atlantic. 1939, Einstein is vacationing at Peconic Bay, Long Island, when he unexpectedly receives a visit from two colleagues who show him that recent results in atomic physics might be co-opted to build a weapon of ferocious energy. Fearful that German scientists might get there first, Einstein urges President Roosevelt to act. Roosevelt does. On August 6, 1945, Einstein wakes up from his afternoon nap, and his assistant informs him that an atomic bomb has been dropped on Hiroshima.
Oh my God. The unleashed power of the atom has changed everything. Save our mode of thinking. We drift toward unparalleled catastrophe. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones.
Even though Einstein had nothing to do with the Manhattan Project, because of that letter to Roosevelt, and also because his famous equation, E equals mc squared, can be used to calculate energetic yields, some called Einstein the father of the atomic bomb. It's a devastating public perception that Einstein could never shake. And so as the years continue to pass, Einstein grows ever more isolated from mainstream physics, retreating into the comforting world of ideas that he has inhabited for nearly a lifetime.
In many lucid moments, I appear to myself like an ostrich with his head forever buried in the relativistic sand in order to avoid the evil quanta. One builds creates a small world, and one feels miraculously great and important, just like a mole in its self-dug hole.
Einstein stays the course, making use of the mathematical methods that had proved so potent in its discovery of general relativity, methods which, as everybody else could see, were unable to bring the unified theory any closer.
Einstein, in his later years, got rather detached from the work of physics in general, and he stopped reading people's papers. He kept working on the same problem he had started working on as a much younger man. It is as if a general who is a master of horse cavalry, who's achieved great things at the beginning of the First World War, would later try to bring that same mounted cavalry into play against the machine guns and barbed wire trenches of the other side.
The public's fascination with Einstein, it continued unabated. But Einstein could feel, he could sense that the community of scientists no longer held his work in high regard. Niels Bohr, a friend and one of the founding fathers of quantum mechanics, lamented publicly that Einstein had turned to working on alchemy.
I am generally regarded as a kind of petrified object, rendered blind and deaf by the years. An old chap who is exhibited now and then mainly as a curiosity because he doesn't wear socks. It is a strange thing to be so widely known and yet to be so lonely.
March 15th, 1955, Michele Besso, remember that's the friend who helped Einstein think through the special theory of relativity 50 years earlier. Besso dies. Einstein consoles Besso's widow with a poetry born of an intimacy with time that few had ever experienced.
And now he has departed this strange world, a little ahead of me. This means nothing. To we convinced physicists, the distinction between past, present, and future is only an illusion, however persistent.
A month later, Einstein lays in a bed in Princeton Hospital, and as dusk drifts to night, he closes his eyes.
All the years of anxious wandering in the dark, with their intense longing, the intense alternations between confidence and exhaustion, and the final emergence into the light. Only those who have experienced it can understand it.
No one else had or has experienced it. Our species has surely produced great scientists who've taken on great challenges to achieve great things. But Einstein's radical assault on the most basic elements of experience, space, time, matter, energy, gravity, all waged by one lone mind wrestling with reality, well, that was a singular achievement. And yet it is in that singular achievement that we recognize the depth of the human drive for coherence, for unity. It is within the singular that we see the capacity of the human mind to lift itself above the ordinary and catch a glimpse of the transcendent. And it is within the singular that we witness the power of the human spirit to rise above the all too real concerns of life on planet Earth, and even if for just a moment, to stretch to the stars.